Welcome to our channel, where we explore important historical events in just 5 minutes or less. In this video, we'll be diving into some of the most significant moments in history and giving you a quick overview of what happened and why it matters. So sit back, relax, and let's learn about the past together. World War I, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that lasted from 1914 to 1918. It was primarily fought in Europe, but also involved countries from all around the world. The U.S. brought much-needed resources and manpower to the Allied powers, and their involvement helped to tip the balance of the war in favor of the Allies. President Woodrow Wilson's decision to enter the war was driven by a desire to make the world safe for democracy and to promote peace and stability in Europe. Another major turning point was the collapse of the Russian Empire in 1917, which removed a major player from the war and allowed Germany to focus more on the Western Front. The war also had a profound impact on the societies and economies of the countries involved. Governments took on a greater role in directing the war effort, leading to the formation of war economies and the introduction of rationing. Women played a greater role in the workforce, as men were sent off to fight in the war. The war also led to the displacement of millions of people, as refugees fled war-torn areas in search of safety. The war finally ended on November 11, 1918, with the signing of the Armistice of Compiègne. The Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919, officially ending the war. The treaty imposed heavy penalties on Germany, including war reparations and the loss of territory. The war began on July 28, 1914, when Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, following the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The war resulted in the deaths of an estimated 8.5 million military personnel and 13 million civilians. It also led to the collapse of 4 empires: the Russian, German, Austro-Hungarian, and Ottoman empires. The war had a profound impact on the world, leading to the creation of new countries, political changes, and a shift in global power dynamics. It also set the stage for World War II, which broke out just over 20 years later. In conclusion, World War I was a catastrophic event that had a profound impact on the world. The war resulted in the deaths of millions of people and the collapse of several empires. It also led to significant changes in society, including the roles of women, the relationship between government and citizens, and the global balance of power. The war also had a profound impact on the countries that were directly involved in the fighting, and it had far-reaching consequences that are still felt today. It was a war that changed the world forever. This event was the spark that ignited a powder keg of alliances and treaties that had been formed between countries in the years leading up to the war. The conflict quickly escalated as other countries joined in, forming 2 main factions: the Central Powers, led by Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire, and the Allied Powers, led by France, Russia, and the United Kingdom. The Central Powers were primarily focused on maintaining their territorial integrity and expanding their empires, while the Allied Powers were focused on preserving the balance of power in Europe and protecting their own territories. The war was characterized by trench warfare, in which soldiers on both sides were entrenched in long, deep ditches for months or even years at a time. The use of new technologies such as tanks, chemical weapons, and aircraft made the fighting more devastating than ever before. Millions of soldiers and civilians were killed or injured, and entire cities and towns were destroyed. One of the most significant events of the war was the entry of the United States in 1917. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions for future topics, please let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our other videos.